You're a lizard, Harry!
I'm not a lizard. I'm Harry.
And I've now reminded myself that very clearly I chose to do the wrong thing on YouTube. What's going on, guys? My name is Tommy. His name is Achilles. You want to do a boop? Friendo? He's not as nice as Azazel, but Azazel's not here right now. Welcome back to the channel. At long last, the first non-core ancestry for Pathfinder 2nd Edition that we ever talked about, ever on the channel, has appeared in a very wonderfully named blog. Let's talk about the Uruksi, shall we? If you're liking what you're seeing, of course, remember, friends, like, subscribe, ding the bell. That's just such a weird motion. I'm gonna stop doing that eventually. Achilles, will you ding the bell? Come ding the bell. You can't see him, but he thought about it. Stay caught up with all your Pathfinder This Many and This Many Edition content. Today, this episode was brought to you in part by, again, one of our newest patrons, because they've just kind of been pouring in, Mr. Kylan Race. Thank you for your help, my friend. Now, let's talk about the lizard people, who, frankly, I am super stoked to see come down as an ancestry this fast. We did a video about the lizard folk of 1st edition. They don't have a lot of lore other than, like, lay eggs, live in tribes, don't like the humans that have encroached upon their territory. I guess I shouldn't be surprised in a world where goblins are now a core race, orcs are a little less Mordor, and a little more the Elder Scrolls, that the Uruksi are receiving the same treatment, while still maintaining that sweet art in what could very possibly be my favorite art. Lore is being expanded. Let's start with that, shall we? Quote, when outlining the Uruksi entry for the Lost Omens character guide, I asked for something that was truly primordial. Much like crocodiles or sharks, lizard folk have been present on Golarion for spans of time that are unfathomable to the human mindset. Uruksi are old enough that some of their treasured ancestors are literally fossils. Okay, I kind of misquoted there. Whatever, leave me be. They had nations that were ancient before the elves even set foot on the planet, and they survived the destruction of Earthfall not by fleeing or by magic, but by simply virtue of their nature as highly adapted predators. They may not have changed in millions or even billions of years, but that's because they're so well evolved for their lifestyle that they haven't needed to. And I think that's super cool, especially because we see these guys a lot in the Mwangi Expanse. I think we all like the image of the lizard folk alongside like the T-Rex animal companion. If they've been here, sentient creatures, for as long as the dinosaurs have, though I guess in like Pathfinder, that's a bit of a shaky one since they're still walking around. That gives them more flavor than just like, a village. What will you do? Will you kill them all? Will you talk to them? Will they be afraid of the warm bloods? Hashtag Neverwinter Nights 2. But how do we introduce these into a setting? Of course, definitely the Uruksi are an uncommon ancestry. Quote, with the inexorable advance of faster-lived mammalian peoples across the globe, the Uruksi are finding they cannot keep solely to themselves and their old ways anymore. Lizard folk have so far preferred to be patient and think things through thoroughly. Holy crap, how did I say that in one shot? Maybe I'm getting good at this. Before acting, but the tide is starting to turn, and more Uruksi are turning their gaze to collaboration with other civilizations. They are most welcome in lands such as the Mwangi Expanse, where the Uruksi nation of Droon in southern Garund is a well-known fact, or in lawless wilds such as the River Kingdoms, or in the deserts of the Golden Road. But enough of that flavory, lore stuff, let's look at the mechanics. The lizard folk, of course, get 8 hit points from their ancestry, probably par for the course for everything, like I've said. Though truly, I could have seen the lizard folk come down at 10. Maybe it'll just be like orcs, dwarves, Oreads, perhaps, however that heritage ends up working out. Goblins with an ancestry, who saw that coming? They're medium, they've got a speed of 25 feet. They speak Common and Uruksi, plus additional languages of course, and they receive an ability boost to Strength and Wisdom with that one freebie, being Apex Predators, who are incredibly patient as the world turns. Makes sense. Their ability flaws to Intelligence, as they don't really rely on knowledge outside the practical. And best druid stats in the game, there it is. Well, maybe dwarves. Your mileage may vary. How badly do you want to cast Shillelagh and whap somebody with a quarterstaff? I mean, for me, that's like a 10 out of 10. Anyway, moving on. Lizard folk possess sharp claws that grant them an unarmed strike, and they have the ability to hold their breath for a real long time. They can also get a powerful tail whip attack, which I think is sweet. Give me a D10 Tail Whip and I'll never, ever, ever, unless it's a thing not native to the plane or undead, shillelagh anything. Iron Tail! Oh, is that an Uruxi monk? That's an Uruxi monk. Oops, well done. We did it, team. They can use their affinity for natural terrain to catch foes off balance, which could mean anything. And they can further hone their skills with unarmed combat, which might mean something along the lines of like dwarven weapon expertise, them having the same proficiency in unarmed strike as they do other things or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, one of the things I like the most about the lizard folk, and this wasn't super expanded upon in 1E, I'm super hoping we get to see like a chameleon lizard folk moving forward, is that your lizard folk can be flavored to be an anthro version of whatever reptile you want, and if you really wanted to build a skink, grab that shed tail reaction at feat level 5 if you've got Tail Whip. Also, if Tail Whip doesn't, on a critical success, give somebody a penalty to their AC or dexterity, lowering their defense a la Pokemon, we have missed the train. Disappoint. Anywho, when you get grabbed with a fully grown tail, you can shed your tail, cease being grabbed, then stride without triggering any reactions from the creature that grabbed you. It'll take 7 days for the tail to grow back, or like a regenerate spell. Talk to your alchemist friend. Maybe he's got a potion of grow tail. Maybe that tail actually is a hand. Don't ask questions. Just drink the thing. Until it does, you obviously can't tail whip, and you get a -2 circumstance penalty on checks to balance. 'Cause you lost your tail. Yeah, that would happen. Last but not least, quote, along with suggestions for some common core rulebook backgrounds appropriate for lizard folk, the Uruxi ancestry entry also notes lizard folk's culture's love of astrology. As one of the first societies to master telling time by the stars, astrological divination followed soon after, and has become both a point of pride and a way of life to most Uruxi. This love of astronomy has found lizard folk a few friends in the form of displaced Leergeni astrologers, and so GMs might consider allowing Uruxi PCs to take Leergeni human astrology feats in that very same Lost Omens character guide, which I'm beyond stoked for. 10 out of 10 need to play a 2nd edition game so I can roll up an Uruxi druid or monk or both, I guess? I don't know. What do y'all think? Are we playing the Uruxi? What ancestries are we looking forward to the most? And real quick, I'm going to make a post about this as well. This coming Friday, would you rather see another episode of Tommy Uncut, or would you like to talk about the Inner C2 Electric Boogaloo? Throw it in the comments. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.